también.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was my very first transaction of like making my own money.
You
like,
felt it.
Bro, I felt it. And I was like, oh man, this is cool. I'm like, yeah, venga. Boom, he gives me a stack I go through. So when doing that, it was a guy, Cisco. I never seen him again. If you out there, brother, thank you for what you did in my life.
That's
I
right,
remember I went, he had a rim shop. Right on Baldwin in Jersey City. So I go and I go leave a bodega and the salon flyer. I stapled my joints. I'm like, oh, this is right next to each other. Boom, I drop it off. He's like, hey, you could do some flyers to me? So automatic in the moment, I'm like, yeah, my company, I can do that. When can we arrange a meeting to work things out? I'm 12 years old.
So your company,
in his head, he was probably thinking like, I'm gonna give him $10, $15 and this could don't be good.
Yeah.
So boom, I came the next day. I was like, hi, Mr. Cisco. I would love to help you. I could do 3 days a week. Each time I come, you're gonna give me $20. And I could do that 2 times a month. And depending on the traffic, you got, we could continue the relationship.
You negotiated your
like
deal
that.
Quick. You ain't let nobody do it.
Oh man, it was so at 12, yo. I never forget that story. So and God bless him because he was very welcoming and he kind of like he's an OG. He was older at that time. He's trying to look at this little guy.
Yeah.
What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? But he respected it. And I ended up seeing that guy because my mom had that salon in that location for like the following 5 years after that. So I kept the relationship with that guy for 5 years. He introduced me to people and led me to know things about, his business that I'm able to help my clients with now. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that are very, important and that urge, man, for business. Once I did that transaction, I said, I love this. This is what I want to do the rest of my life. And then a couple months later, I found out, and this is a key component I want to give to every entrepreneur out there, right? If you decide you want to be in business, number one, you got to have the passion and love business, right?
Yeah.
And look at it that this is a long journey, right? Business is full of ups and downs. And I tell you, from a person sitting, I've seen accounts go to close to $1 million. I've seen them come all the way down to even negative, to go back to 100 and something. I've seen all of that, but that is part of the game. If you don't have that passion, that respect, and that patience, don't become an entrepreneur. And number two, which is the most important thing, know how to sell. Yo, if you know how to sell, you can get it going. And this is what brings me to the second part that I discovered early, that I was a good salesperson. Mommy having the salon, there was a guy named Tony. He would hang out with all of our childhood friends and on the block. We played basketball, but he was 18 and we was all 13, 14. Yeah. He was around. And I remember, I don't know what the hell happened. He had a bunch of cassettes, the yellow joints with the headphones. He came to the salon. And he's like, yo, I need to get these popping. So all the kids come. It was me, Willie, Lamar, Christian. All the kids come, and we're just a big ass box. And I'm like, yo, Tony, what's the price you gonna give? He's like, yo, I'm gonna give it to y'all for $5. Sell it for whatever y'all want. I said, all right, cool. I'm gonna sell it for $10. I said, the first thing I'm gonna need y'all to do, take this box outside. Yeah, my mom's salon. This is my market. If I'm selling it for $10, then I'm already thinking, right?
That's a fact.
I said, I got to take this box outside because this is my place. I'm going to sell it for 10. You could come for 8. And if your mom's getting her hair done, she going to buy it from you. I don't need competition.
But that's smart, though.
Yeah, that was all part of the strategy. And then thereafter, bro, I remember my very first cassette that I sold. And we sold, bro, that day. I think I must have sold 50 cassettes. I went ham. Ooh. After I sold everybody Mommy salon, I went to the next store. I went to Martin's store. I went to my man Cisco. I was like, yo, I got it. That first transaction, the lady was a little like, mami, pero son para los, llévatelo para tu marido. What you doing? Yo, and that shit just flew out. It just came out. I said, oh, and she gave me the money. I said, oh.
That shit sounded good.
This is gonna go for the rest of my life, And then that transition. But yeah, I would always say to entrepreneurs, have the passion and learn how to sell.
Yeah, he literally just told everybody the epitome of hustle plus muscle equals success.
Hustle plus muscle equals success.
Seriously, yo.
In his terms, bro.
OD, son.
My man said, yo, this is Mommy's salon. Y'all got to move out there somewhere, bro.
It was a bunch of kids. I said, nah, kid, you got to go.
Yo, dude. And he had the right, though. He had the really upper hand on that one.
And then that's when you tell him, yo, business is business.
This is business.
I mean, they took it. They were laughing. They were like,
yeah. But they kind of teach us that in school, though. Y'all remember when they used to give us little chocolate boxes? And go sell them, for a fundraiser or something, and you'll come back with that money. But you actually got out there and actually was selling them here.
Right. It's a very important feature, man. If someone's in business, you got to sell.
You definitely do,
You gotta sell yourself, man. You gotta be able, and not only the business, right, or the product or the service. Be able to sell yourself, right? And don't be afraid if this doesn't happen early in your entrepreneurial, career. You have to first evolve as a person, as a human being, right? Because when you're in business, one of the things that you have to realize is that there's a couple things that are factual that are going to happen. Number one, not every deal is going to go as you expect by default. You're going to have a certain percentage of deals that are going to drop. You're gonna have collateral damages in relationships because it is business, right? You could be my boy, I could be doing business with you, and for whatever reason, I may not respect your work ethic, or there's something that wasn't done correctly. That may be a relationship that is going to be a collateral damage that may not be
hindered and all that shit,
right? Because you have to be able to communicate and be clear about what your goal is and what you're doing. So these are things that I'm always, I hold very dear. I understand it. And just like there's that portion that you're going to lose, there's going to be a good portion that you're going to win. If you do your shit correctly. And when them winning seasons come, run with them. They're great times. You gain a lot of information. It's a good time. So that all comes, though, from that personal development, being able to sell yourself, respecting yourself, having integrity, doing the correct thing, and then just moving forward. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much the philosophy.